Hello, Met friends! Ending here for another episode of Pelennor Fields. When we last left off, we were getting ready to talk to Ingbert and possibly Horn. But let's go ahead and learn of what Horn's father thinks once
My
more.
son Horn has come to his senses at last.
There is a familiar face, though it was long ago and many miles from here when I last saw it. Andang the Champion. I am delighted to tell you that my son Horn has come to his senses at last. He has had a welcome change of heart, and ridden with the company, as he should. And most welcome of all, he has left his wild woman behind. Alright. So Nona is supposedly left behind. We'll see if she stays behind.
War is calling. Finally, my son will prove he is a man of Rohan.
Nay, it is true. My son has finally shown some sense, and has chosen to leave this foolish loves of his youth behind him. He will do his duty as I, his father, command, and as his king requires. War is calling, and finally my son will prove he is a man of Rohan, and worthy of my bloodline. Would that he had recognized it sooner. I might have been spared such frustrations in my old age. You do not believe that Horn has so chosen? Ask him yourself, and you will see. You will see. Okay, crazy man. Crazy man. Alright, let's see here. There we go. There is might but medium armor. We want the heavy. Alright, so let's see here. We got that, of course, and we got these earrings of awesomeness. They are actually better. Go ahead and apply. And apply. I don't know what the point is of not just giving us armor with those when they give us those every single time. It's kind of frustrating. Just a little bit. Okay, let's talk to Horn. He's off on his own, though, interestingly enough. This accursed darkness has cast a spell, has cast a pall upon my heart. Andang. But it is brightened somewhat to see you again. Much has happened since we parted. Is Cordain with you? Call him over, and I will tell you my tale, for he should hear of it as well. You tell Horn that you were separated from Cordain before the forces of Saruman fell upon Helm's Deep, and were unable to find the elf after the fight ended. Horn is silent for a time, and then he shakes his head. I am sure he's fine, wherever he has gone. I do not believe he would fall prey to Saruman's evil so easily, or so quietly. Surely the riders of this quest would be smarter than that. That there is no chance of him should lighten of our worry, not increase it. It seems to your ear that Horn is trying to convince himself more than you, but you do not press the issue. He is silent again, for a long moment. But when he finally speaks, his voice is full of sorrow. Nona and I did not find the Falcon Clan raiding party, Andang. Indeed, I think now that she did not really intend to search for Lou Brennan at all. Her plan was in service of a ruse. I blame her not for it now, but I confess that when the shape of her mind became clear, I spoke harshly. She wanted to get me alone, to tell me to abandon Rohan. She wanted us to find a place where we might live free from the demands of the king and wizard. If the forces of evil triumph, let us face them together, not for a kingdom or for bloodlines, but for ourselves, she said. But I would not listen. I was angry. To be made to choose in this fashion. I told her that I did not always know what it meant to be a man of Rohan. But our adventures together taught me much on this matter, and I wanted to serve my king as I should. There were more words, and they were hurtful. I made to leave, and Nona told me that if I rode to war with Theoden, I would die before the walls of the White City. How can you know this? I asked her. But before she answered, I knew the answer. Hildegard, the soothsayer, spoke to Nona of my death. Nona believed it, though I do not. That was not her final attack, and this last strike was to be the most deadly, though it also proves decisive in the matter. Nona said to me that she was with a child. Hildegard had told her this, but Nona did not need the words of the soothsayer to believe it. I believed it too. Horn sighs heavily, sorrow etched deeply upon his face. The air was still and cold, and the silence stretched between us. I was torn between the two duties, service to the woman of my heart, and the child our love would bring forth, and to Theoden, the king of my homeland. And that is when I realized that they were not different at all. If Rohan is consumed by war and falls to the enemy's horns, it will not matter where Nona and I and our child might prepare for the last stand. We will be alone, together, but alone, and the enemy will have us. But if Theoden defies the forces of Mordor, and we find victory, then there might be peace. Only then will there be safety for the women I love, the woman I love, and for our child our love is bringing forth. Only then. She thinks I choose to ride for Theoden to seek glory or for honor. But neither of those are the reason. I ride for Rohan, for my Dunlending wife, and for my Dunlending child, that they may be safe from the evils of Mordor. It was the most difficult decision I have ever had to make, Andang. It may have been the wrong one. But I still have made it. It was the only thing I could have done. And if it is wrong, and if Hildegard is right, and I ride to my death in Gondor, far from those I love, well, you have my permission to tell my old music master Glerewine that he was right after all. You look at Horn quizzically. Glerewine and I have been having a disagreement about what it means to fight. Do not tell him this, but I think I have been arguing mostly to convince myself, rather than him.
I have cut a most impressive figure doing so, I think. The very picture of a valiant man of Rohan. I seem to have convinced my father, at any rate. Find Glerewine, if you would like to hear his side of the argument. It is good to see you, Endang. I wish that we had met again in happier circumstances, but there are few enough of those in these dark days. Stay well, my friend. Wow. Owen's given up a lot to come here. But he's gained a lot too. Okay. I think we're headed in the complete wrong direction. Yeah, how did it get off? Whatever. Let's go talk to Glerewine.
Glerewine.
See what he thinks about the Dunlending girl being gone. Alright, let's talk, buddy.
I bid you welcome. Have you seen Horn?
I bid you welcome, Endang. Have you seen Horn anywhere? My former student is a knot of confusions, and speaking with you might help him unravel them.
You tell Glerewine that you found Horn in the state he describes, but are unsure if your words provided him any comfort.
I'm glad you tried. I think he is being foolish, and have told him so many times, but he refuses to listen to me. He thinks he is doing the right thing. Ah, boy, but I tell you that Nona does not agree, and neither do I. What good will it do her and the child in this way if Horn dies now? Little or none, Endang, glory and honor, they will be of little consolation and no comfort to the family he leaves behind. I am no warrior. I record what befalls the warriors on song, and know all too well what that means. I dress it up in nice clothes and with pretty words, but still I know it's for what it is. Death and death and death. Horn is full of pride, like his father Ingbert, and will not be persuaded. He is a man of Rohan, for certain, stubborn and hard-headed, thinking always of duty and honor and service. May it not be the death of him.
You think that Glerewine may have been blinded to the truth of the matter by Horn's blustery words of justification, but you do not correct him.
Duty is not always easy.
Elfhelm, standing nearby, catches your eye and attention. It is not always an easy thing to decide what duty compels us to do. I know. What is going on with that guy? He just climbed up a tree. What is going on? It is not always an easy thing to decide what duty compels us to do. I know of someone who might have something to add to this debate, Endang. Look for him just to the west, if you can control your tongue and keep a confidence. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that is awesome.
Hello there. At last someone will speak to me.
Hello there, Andeng. At last someone will speak to me. I have only had Durnhelm here for company, and he speaks very little. It is almost as if none of the men here can see me. I am almost certainly not supposed to be here. I hope that Theoden will not be cross with me when he finds out. But what was I supposed to do? I could not stay behind while the others have gone off to danger. That has been this hobbit's story almost from the very beginning. Frodo and Sam and Pip, all gone off now, braving danger in strange lands. But I could not let it happen again. I am grateful that Durnhelm saw fit to help me along. He has an understanding with Elfhelm, I think. The old marshal is turning a blind eye to my presence here, and I am glad of it. I just hope I am not too much of a burden on the road or in battle that is certain to come.
I am sick of waiting around.
Let us see if we can get to look at what Theoden is doing. I will use my natural sneakiness to remain out of sight, of course, but I cannot bear knowing what is going on. I cannot bear not knowing what is going on. The king is meeting with his advisors and is clearing to the southwest. It is not far. Okay, well, I think that does bring this episode to a close. Thank you everyone for watching. Another episode of Pelennor Fields. When we return, we will go and spy on Theoden with Merry, I suppose. But till then, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another episode of Pelennor Fields. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button below. And if you'd like to see more of my daily content, feel free to subscribe, and you'll be notified when that new content comes out. And also, if you'd like to help support my channel and help me continue to create high quality videos, feel free to support me on Patreon, and you can get all sorts of great rewards in the process. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another video.